Today we have Raj here. Raj, thank you so much for being a part of this mini series where I chat with friends and we basically just have a good time sharing some knowledge and experience.
Thank you, Arjun. This is the first time I've been in a podcast, so it's a pleasure.
Thanks, man. So tell me, where are you at right now? And how do we know each other? Maybe you can start off like that and then
Yes,
end up
yes,
to where you're at right now.
yes. So we met in a trekking trip. So we went from, I think, Ringwood to Belgrade, if I'm not mistaken.
Yep.
And yeah, I saw you sitting in a bus stop, and that's when I first met you. You were wearing a Muay Thai shirt, and I noticed that. And then we just started talking, and then we were talking about our interests, and then we got to know that we both did Muay Thai, and we were just talking like you were surprised that I was doing Muay Thai. It's like what a coincidence. And then we did the hike, and it was a really good hike. It was one of the better ones. It was very challenging, but it was very different. As in, like each part of the hike was different. So it was a very interesting hike. I forget the person who posted it. He was a very
Rodney.
nice guy. Who's his
Rodney.
name? What's his name?
Rodney, right?
Oh, Rodney. Yes,
Yeah,
Rodney.
yeah, yeah.
Yes. Him. Yeah. Yeah, that's how we met.
Yeah. And we shared common interest for kickboxing.
Yes.
You were doing quite a lot then. And we also did
Hmm.
a couple trips, didn't we?
Yes, we did do a few hiking trips and then we went on trips of our own, which you organized. You were the brains of the operation.
Thanks,
Most of the
man.
time, it's your idea and it's your management.
Those were fun.
Good.
I think you and I have done three. We've done Mildura. That was about
Yes.
6 hours, right? 6 hours to the edge of
Yes.
Victoria.
6 hours. Yes.
That was with me, you, Junaid, Yusuf. Then we did the Blue Mountains, which was in New South
No,
Wales.
I don't think Yusuf was there. I
Yeah,
think
he
it was
was.
me. He was?
Yusuf was there. I remember.
Oh, okay. Okay.
Mildura. And then I think we
Yes.
did Blue Mountains in New South Wales.
Yes.
And we
Yes.
also did Mount Kosciuszko, tallest peak in
Yes.
Australia. I remember we
Yes.
did the Mount Kosciuszko one in a single weekend. Because I remember
Yes.
coming back to office on Monday and telling my colleagues,
Mhm.
and they all thought I was crazy because they were like, "How did you do that in a weekend?" But those were some
Yeah.
of the most fun trips ever, weren't they?
Yeah. Yeah. I think we're missing one trip, but it's not coming to mind. Because we stayed at three places, remember? Because if you say one was a day trip, then we did do three Airbnb trips. One of them Mildura, one of them Blue Mountain. I think we're missing one, but that's okay. Maybe we'll remember later.
Maybe you'll remember later, but to the best of my knowledge, I think that's it. But yeah,
Okay.
oh yeah, I remember four. Um, was it no? I remember. Was it Wollongong that we went to? We went to Wollongong.
We did go to Wollongong, but that was on the way back from somewhere.
Yeah, from Blue Mountains.
Maybe from Sydney. Yes, yes.
Yeah.
But I don't know. I feel like there's one missing, but it's okay.
Mm. Okay, but we've done some good trips. And how was your time? Tell
Yes.
me what got you to Australia. You were also living in Tasmania, weren't you, for a bit?
Yes, so I went to Australia. I went straight to Hobart and Tasmania, and I did my master's there at the University of Tasmania. I did my master's in agricultural science. So the reason I went to Australia is because I wanted to do my master's abroad, and preferably in a country like an English-speaking country among there's a name for it. The four countries like New Zealand, Australia, USA,
Co-
Canada, and also UK. Yeah,
Okay.
what do they have a name, they have a
Yeah,
group.
yeah,
Anyway, one of those countries, because
yeah.
then I don't need to learn a new language. So I was saving up on some effort. So yes, so that's why. And then it was either between Canada and Australia towards the end. I was also considering New Zealand because New Zealand is a good destination to do agricultural science. They have a good university there. But in the end, I chose Australia because Canadian applications are supposed to be done a long time prior to when you want to start. So in the end, I chose Australia, and I chose University of Tasmania in particular because it was more affordable, and also um, there were incentives in terms of immigration, and yeah, that's mostly that's mostly why I chose.
And what's agricultural science all about? What does it pertain to, and what is it the study of, and what kind of jobs can you actually have in this s- field?
Okay. Um, well, agricultural science, as the name says, it's about agriculture, and it also encompasses. a little bit more than just crops. You also study a bit of animal science, like livestock, like raising livestock, like cattle, sheep, that sort of thing. But it's not the main focus. The main focus is on plants, growing crops, and the technical sciences that are associated with growing crops. So, an example would be like pathology, plant pathology. Like you got to know how to control the diseases, and also entomology, which is pests, insects, and also like there's soil science. You got to learn about soils a little bit like geology, but mainly applied to agriculture. And what else do we have? We have agronomy. Agronomy is more of a general sense agriculture, but it is considered a separate, like specific subject. So I guess it pertains to the techniques or the technology that you use to, like the different way the crops can be raised, the different crop rotation, like which crop you uh, plant after a certain crop is harvested. Um, and then you got and then you got crop physiology, which is more botanical, like you're going in depth into how the plants themselves, what makes them tick. Yeah, these are a few of them, but these are the main ones. There's more. There's more like you got nematology, you got even like we did a small unit about nanotechnology, but it wasn't in depth. Um, yeah, yeah. So I think you get an idea, but we do focus on, say, for example, we collect insects so that we can learn about them. And then we go out and then we collect samples of plants so that we can make a herbarium, which is a preserved plant sample, so that we can just get our hands dirty inside the field, essentially.
And I think you ended up going to Melbourne. And the way you found your
Yes.
job, if I remember correctly, was it through LinkedIn?
Yes, that last job was through LinkedIn, and it wasn't even I didn't contact them. The manager contacted me because I guess he wanted someone to work, and then the farm that I was working prior to that, they had closed, and so someone probably informed this, and then he contacted me, and then I just went to the farm and had a chat with him, and then we were in agreement with a lot of things. So yeah, he ended up hiring me.
It's beautiful. And how was your time working there? It was, I think, a mushroom uh,
Yes.
kind of factory farm.
Mushroom farm, yes, yes. It's indoor mushroom. Mushrooms are mostly cultivated indoors, so it is a indoor farm. And yeah, it was good. It was the best job so far that I've done because, like, in terms of stress, in terms of work-life balance, everything, it was good.
Okay. And you also, I remember when we were together in Melbourne, you have some passions. Would you be able to talk a
Yes.
little bit about those passions?
Yes, yes. So I don't really like sitting still, I guess. So when I finish my work, I try to do things. I I dabbled in martial arts, which is Muay Thai.
Yeah.
I I did like thrice a week of that for a year, and then I also started going to salsa classes. That was once a week, and then I was just into fitness, and I also learned swimming after going to Australia. I didn't know how
Oh,
to
yeah,
swim.
yeah. So you
Yes.
went for private
Uh,
classes, right?
Yes, I did go for private classes.
And you can
I
float?
did those private classes. Yes, I can float. I had a challenge with floating because I naturally sank, but then the way you position your body, just after a while, you start to learn how to float. And it did. And I did go to those classes for a long time. It took a while for me to learn to swim, but then in the end, I felt like one day I felt like, okay, now I know to swim. So I still did go to classes because they improve you, they make things perfect, the techniques. Yes.
It's pretty
How
awesome.
about you, Arjun? Do you swim? You swim. I know that.
Yeah,
We swam.
I used to swim back in school, man. Back in school, I used to swim.
Yes.
I was on the swim team, but now I can just swim like that, like it's not like I swim
Mhm.
competitively, but I did do a bit of competitive swimming. And yeah, martial arts in terms of that, I'm also doing jiu-jitsu now. Mostly I'm focusing on that. And
Yes.
yoga also I'm doing these days. I feel like I noticed I was really in my head for the past couple months. Still am a little bit, but when you actually do yoga, you kind of get out of your head and mind and more into your body. And I kind of understand how it's so good for well-being. So I'm kind of
Mm.
trying to focus a little bit on that. Recently, I did rock climbing, which was good fun. Very
Yeah.
tiring.
Yeah.
And so okay, you also have a passion, I think, for languages, right?
Yes, yes. I did
And
wanna
cultures.
learn Japanese. Yeah, cultures and just in general, like traveling and getting to know things about people and cultures, connecting with people essentially. So yeah, Japanese was the language that I chose to learn, mainly because it was the most which I saw utility to at the time. I guess because I liked anime and some of the Japanese cultural elements. Um, yeah, so that was a good thing that I started. I'm still doing it. I'm still learning it. I'm learning on weekends. I'm in India now.
Mm,
For all the viewers, I'm in India. I'm not in Australia. So yeah, I'm doing online classes on weekends. And I've also started learning French, but French is mainly it is for my career and it is for my future travels. So it's not really like I'm not as passionate about French as Japanese, but it is very practical to learn French. It's one of the more important languages if you want to have an international presence, I
of
think.
course. And when you're talking about the Japanese classes, it's online, it's with like a teacher. How does it go?
Yes, it is with the teacher. The teacher's based in Chennai in India, and we have a class of about 14 people. So it goes for about two hours every
Oh wow.
weekend. So twice a week. And we she has a structured syllabus, and she goes over certain things, and then we chime in when we wanna ask a question or if there's discussions to iron out like um, like your knowledge and fluency. I'm still not like at a level where I can speak it. I would say I can get by with a few phrases at certain situations.
Uh-huh.
But yeah, I think I'm getting there slowly.
But the other students in the class, they're all from India as well.
Yes, they're all from India, but different parts of India. Some of them from north, but mostly from south, mostly from Tamil Nadu.
Okay. Do you know the reason that these people have taken to learning Japanese? Is it?
Yeah, I think it's mostly, I don't know if it's true or not, but I've heard that there's a job market growing in Japan. I'm not sure if it's like I haven't gone into the statistics of it. I just, anecdotal hearings. Um, so a lot of people, I think they want to go there for a job, like engineers, different professions. Some of them, like few of them, hobbies and just a hobby for some people.
But I believe, yeah, even if there's a job market or whatever, I believe they do still have a declining population, which is a concern um,
Yeah.
in terms of the
So I
prospect of
think
what you can do.
yes, and I think maybe aged care, those like that sort of work, maybe that would be increasing. That might be more sustainable if you want to go into that. I think because as you said, aging population. So I would like to imagine that would be a thing, right?
Mhm,
A lot of aging people who needs caring. So
mhm. And just to clarify, the teacher is also Indian, or?
yes, she's Indian. She's Tamil. Um, yeah, I don't know if she's ever been to Japan or not, but she seems to be a good teacher so
She's
far.
like quite fluent, you'd say, or fully fluent?
Mm, like since we are beginners, we like the pronunciation with Japanese, it doesn't take a lot of effort. So her pronunciation looks good, but I don't know of her fluency because I I haven't seen her talking like Japanese with anyone like at a native level or anything like that because she only interacts with us, and we are beginners, so we don't have enough knowledge to decipher like how fluent she is.
Okay, I
So,
see.
but for our level, no, she's good.
Okay.
So far, yes. And they
Our
do have native teachers. They do have Japanese native teachers, but they're for higher levels. I
okay.
don't know if they're based out of Chennai. Maybe they're in Japan and they teach from there. But yeah, at higher levels, we have access to them.
Okay. Our friend Yusuf is pretty good at Japanese. He's quite
Yes,
proficient. He's a smart
yes,
guy. So both of you, I guess, bonded over that interest in the culture and the language and things like that.
yes, yes,
So tell
yes.
me, Raj, yeah,
He Yeah, he has his partner is Japanese too, so it's easy for him to keep learning.
practice. Yeah,
Yes.
yeah, exactly. Tell me, Raj, so what is it that your future plans are now? Um, please do share with the people listening. What's
Yeah.
been happening? I believe there was a bit of a roadblock that you faced.
Yes. Yes.
If you're
It was
happy
unexpected.
to speak about that,
Yeah,
what your plans are.
I'll touch on it. I don't know if I can go in depth because even I don't know. But I'm trying a few things. So, as you know, like I came to India traveling, and then being ignorant, I was not focusing on my visa. So, I ended up losing my visa because bridging visa B, you're supposed to go back to Australia at a certain time. But then we did try to, my company, they tried to sponsor me and everything. But things didn't go as according to plan because they were also having a lot of staff, and then it was taking a long time for my visa to process. So in the end, that had to be stopped. So now I'm looking for a new sponsor in Australia. I don't know if I'll find one, but there are a few leads, but I'm trying to chase them, like not be too pushy. And I just told you before we started the podcast, I was telling you that there's an aptitude test.
Mm.
So that was for a company in Kerala, and that was where my dad used to work in. And it is for a training assistant manager role. And so it comes from my dad's recommendation. So I just did the aptitude test. It took a while longer than I expected. That's why I had to postpone our podcast a little bit later. And yeah, so that's a threefold process. There's like a group discussion and an interview. So that's one. And then I'm also looking at a mushroom farm in Saudi Arabia. So I don't know which one to choose actually, because both have their different perks and cons and disadvantages. Sorry, advantages and disadvantages. So this one, like the farm, the tea estate in Kerala, where I might be a manager. It is it is good because you get your own house to
Oh,
stay, and you
wow.
get your own, yes, you get your own bungalow, like the British era bungalow, and you get your own like maid who makes food for you and stuff. But at the same time, like if I go to Saudi, the good thing about that is it will be the same field as I worked before in mushrooms. So it will be like improving upon what I have done before,
Yeah,
and
building upon
also
that.
it's
You'll be
yes.
building upon that, yeah.
Hmm. And also it's a different country, it's different experience, but I don't think that the the amenities or the standard, like the houses, they won't give you a house obviously in Saudi. Like they will give you a room with a bunch of different workers sharing. So it's different perks. So I don't know which one to choose. I would have to decide. I think both can happen. So I might have to choose one, or maybe one doesn't go accordingly. So I don't need to choose. I just go with one, or maybe not neither. We don't know. So yeah,
Yeah,
that's
I
how it
guess
is.
sometimes when we expect a lot and stuff doesn't work out, then I've learned that we can be a bit disappointed. So it's good to also have hope, but also curb expectation. Um,
Yes, yes.
yeah, so that's something that's exciting to look forward to. Were you looking at another country to
Yeah, I
consider?
mean, I've applied for express entry in Canada, but just on like the current situation, I obviously don't have enough points to be like the top because I didn't study in Canada or anything like that. But that's why I'm learning French. So maybe, 6 months later, I might have enough points to go further. Or if I am lucky and I get a job offer later. But yeah, that's a long shot, just working on that too. And even with Japanese, like if I get that certificate, there is a chance that I might be able to apply there or something.
Okay.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
do have a contact. I made a contact through Facebook. I just made a post, in one of those Facebook groups, Indians in XXX, like Japan in this case. And someone just told me, like, try to get to N5 or N4, and then maybe we can try something.
Okay.
So it's a lot of things I'm chasing. So I just need something solid.
Couple things in the works. And what's the city you're currently in?
I'm not in the city. The nearest city is Trivandrum. I think you know Trivandrum.
Yeah.
For you. Yeah, Trivandrum's about 1 hour away from here. So when I travel, I have to go to Trivandrum Airport and then I catch a cab or a bus and then I can come to one. My house though is in Kanniyakumari district. It's in Tamil Nadu.
And what's Kanyakumari like the district? What are places to see, things to do?
Places to see. Kanyakumari is the southernmost spot in India, so that might interest people to travel there, and they can go and visit the southernmost tip essentially, and then there are a few landmarks. Like there is this old philosopher, I mean old philosopher, as in like a philosopher from ancient times, a Tamil philosopher. We have a statue of him out in the ocean. We had to take a ferry to there. So that's one of those spots. And then we have a memorial for Mahatma Gandhi. And do you know Vivekananda? He is also like a prolific historical figure from
Oh
Tamil
yeah.
Nadu. Yeah. So we have a memorial for him too. Just sites like this. And then, you got your regular theme parks, not like big ones, but and then you got like waterfalls. It's very tropical. So you can, if you want to picture it, you can picture like tropical Kerala.
Hmm.
I think that puts a picture in your mind. So it's similar to that. It's not very hilly. It's quite plain, but you got that tropical nature.
And is it mostly a service-based economy down there or manufacturing or
Good question. We do have a lot of horticulture. We have a lot of rubber. We have a lot of coconuts,
Mhm.
coconut trees. Coconuts is like we do transport coconuts to a lot of the neighboring places. Mm, Apart from that, I don't think we are very industry like people don't usually work inside the district. They get their education, they usually go out to bigger places. But yeah, yeah, I don't know. Like obviously you got your government jobs like everywhere, but I don't think we have big industries or anything like that. It's mostly just horticultural and that's it.
Okay.
That's all I feel like is here. Yeah.
Okay.
And maybe tourism, but tourism infrastructure is a bit underdeveloped. It can be better.
Okay. Okay. So it's would you say it's like a tier two city or
Do you mean Trivandrum or where I live?
where you live, Kanyakumari
Where I
district?
live, I wouldn't say it's a city. It's like it's suburban in nature. If you just houses and stuff. Um, it's good. It's clean. It's not like it isn't bad. As in, like if you travel here, you'll have a good time. But it's just I don't know. Maybe I have a bias because I was living in Australia. But it's not. There's not a lot going on, I guess. I mean, we got your festivals and stuff. We have it's yeah, it's like a fun fact. We are like it's Christian, like 40% Christians here. It's
Oh,
just like
really?
Kerala too. Yeah, yeah,
Oh, that's very high.
yeah. It is high. It is high. Like in India, it is high. So we do have a lot of Christians, and then so Christian festivals are kind of big. Hindu festivals are too, but it depends on the area. And we got Muslims too. It's quite diverse in terms of religion. Like Kerala too, right? Kerala is
Yeah.
quite, it's not very, like out of states, it's mostly just Hindu, right? But
Hmm.
in Kerala, you got the good mix of all.
Yeah.
So similar to that, similar to that.
And I know that actually in Kerala, some of the most famous people are actually non-Hindus, right? Like there's, I think the founder of Lulu hypermarket, I think he's a gentleman named Yusuf Ali. Then there's also a
Mm,
person from Trishul who I think is called Joy Alukas, and he
yes,
has a massive gold, um,
yeah,
like
story,
business,
right.
multiple places
Yeah.
across the Gulf, the Middle East.
Yes.
I recently read
Oh
his
yeah,
book.
you must have been familiar with all this since
Yeah,
you lived in Gulf
yeah.
for a considerable portion of
So,
your
but
life.
actually, I didn't know about Alukas until I actually read his autobiography last year, and I was like, oh, there's a place called Thrissur, which I think you might know better, is known for gold or gold businesses or.
Yeah, Trishul is mainly known for its festival called Puram.
Mhm.
We have something called Puram, so where yeah, this is something you can look up in YouTube. They have a lot of videos. So the elephants, they decorate the elephants, the head portion with like golden decorations, and then they keep them in a line, like, and they have a lot of people, and they have a lot of music, like traditional music. It's a festival in a temple, but it's very unique to Thrissur, I think. So it's known for that. Other than that, but the gold stuff that you said, I think it's common in every city. I don't know if Thrissur is unique in the sense. We Indians are very big lovers of gold, so you can find
Yeah, yeah.
this jewelry everywhere.
That's
Yeah.
fascinating. Really fascinating. So we've talked about a couple of things. Is there anything else, any other topic that you think you'd like to maybe share a little bit of insight on that maybe other people would
Insights.
be interested to know about?
I think nothing productive. Maybe like, things like video games, but I don't wanna I don't wanna talk about video games. That's not really
Is it something you're
the
interested in?
topic.
If it's something you're interested in, please do talk a little bit about it.
Yeah, but I know you're not interested in it, so you won't be interested in hearing them.
I used to play video games. I used to play Black Ops. My go-to was Black Ops Call of Duty. I used to play
Yes.
that in 2011. I used to play it on repeat every single weekend. I
Yes.
remember in Cairo, and we played Black Ops Zombies. We played that on repeat. And each time we die, we just play the whole thing again. And normally we got to round 20, round 21. If you remember, I'm not sure if you played Black Ops Zombies. Round five
I
is when
played Call of
those.
Duty, but
Okay,
yeah.
okay. What did you play?
I don't know. I never really got into it. I guess sometimes when some things are very popular,
Yeah.
you just don't feel like
Yeah.
I do like shooting games, but Call of Duty I never really got into it.
Okay. And I guess we're
Yeah.
all still waiting for GTA 6.
Yes, yes, we are. Yes, some people joke around in the internet, I'm gonna live till I see GTA 6. So that's like a motivation for them to see the next
Exactly.
day.
Exactly. Have you played any video games lately? Are you playing any in your free time?
Oh, I do play. I do play. I try to play less often because I can. It's a slippery slope because I'm at home now most of the time. So I do play a lot. I finished so many games, since I came back to India. But I trying to limit it. Yeah, I do play. What did I play recently? I think I just finished this game called Sackboy: A Big Adventure. It's not that famous, so you might not know.
Okay.
It was a PlayStation game that they ported it to PC.
Okay. And what are you currently playing on? Which console?
Oh, my laptop. My laptop's my go-to. It's a gaming laptop. And so yeah, I do have a PlayStation 3 and a Nintendo Switch. They're still in Australia. I never really bothered to get them shipped. I can ask my friend to ship them.
Oh,
I
who's it
should
with now?
actually.
It's with your friend right
It's
now.
with Rukshan. Rukshan, Rukshan, right?
Oh yeah, yeah, I remember him.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, this is interesting. So
Yeah.
I just heard from before you messaged me,
Yeah, yeah,
I
yeah.
was sleeping actually because my sleep schedule is a bit weird now. I was sleeping and then I got a call from my housemate's wife,
Mm,
who, I used to live in. And she was who told me, hey, brother, the police is here and they just found out your bike and they said like she said like do you want to talk to them and I talked to them and they said oh we found your bike remember my bike was stolen.
mhm.
Do you remember
Yeah,
that
I
my
remember the
motorcycle
red
was
one.
stolen? Yes, the blue one. The
Oh, the
opposite.
blue one. But it was that
Listen,
something CC bike. It was like,
yeah, it's a 155 cc.
yeah, yeah.
And they just found it apparently and then but it's not in a situation where you can ride it, so I don't know what to do. I'm going to ask for pictures and see what to do with it. I'll ask someone to maybe try to sell it if it's profitable. I don't know if fixing it's going to be, I don't know, I'll do something with it, but they caught the criminal, the thief,
Oh, and what did they do with
who
him?
who I didn't ask about that either. He just told me this and he was asking me like nominate someone so that they can come pick it up.
Okay.
I didn't ask. I don't know. I should ask, I guess, right? I should ask how they found it.
Would
It
be
would be
good to
interesting to
know. Maybe they can put it in a
yes.
suitcase and ship it to you. You can take it on forward to your next place.
Yeah, I wonder how bad they like what situation it is then. They must have mistreated it because the police officer, he said it's not in rideable condition. That's what he thinks at least. So he
Mm.
said it needs to be towed.
Ooh,
So we'll see.
that's well, I'm sure you miss your motorbike.
Yeah, yeah. I don't miss it as much in India. Like in Australia, I do because the roads are nice.
Yeah.
So yeah.
But I think there's a
Do
chance
you
we could
feel the
still,
traffic?
not really, but I think for me
Okay.
and you, I think there's a chance we can still cross paths. Um,
Yes, you can.
in
I think
India
you
or
might travel somewhere, and I think we'll meet somewhere outside.
yeah,
I think that's the bigger chance.
maybe in a third country. I have a couple friends I made like after you. not too many,
Yes.
maybe two or three, and I told them very fondly about you. And me,
Thank you.
Yusuf, and Junaid, who know you, will always speak about you. And
Yes.
unfortunately, our couple other friends haven't yet met you, and
Oh
they're
yeah.
very curious to know how you are. And because we always somehow mention you, if it's a Mildura trip or hiking, whatever it is. So you always come up in some way.
Right. Right. I think I know I see your friend on Facebook, Jay, right?
JHU, yeah.
Did you meet him after I left?
Yeah, right after, bro. Right
Okay.
after you left, that's when we met Jay.
Oh,
Yeah, he's
nice,
a
nice.
school teacher, wonderful guy from Malaysia.
Oh, right,
Yeah.
right.
But
That's good.
with that said, I think we are nearing the end of our time together. And
Yes.
normally at the end of this the chat, I
Yeah.
ask one question. And the thing is, this question I don't tell you before because it needs to
Okay.
be on the spot. And the question is very simple. It's for anyone that's listening to this discussion between us, this chat, what is one piece of advice that you'd give them for anyone that's listening that they could maybe ponder over or that might be useful for them?
Yeah, I think just don't procrastinate.
Mhm.
Just like lot of your important tasks, they might take only 5 minutes. So, but they might be so important. You might just be putting it off. So just get to them and then keep the dates and stuff in your mind so that you don't
You
lose
know
your
that all too
visa.
well.
Yes, yes. And it's still something that I like need to remind myself of
Mhm.
because I think sometimes you can do the same mistake again. So
Yeah,
yeah, that's
some beautiful advice. Yeah, not procrastinating. I think we all need that. In my opinion, I think sometimes just to add to your point, sometimes just doing the first step
yes,
is what will
yes,
build a momentum for you to just power
yes,
through that task. Just the first step.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah,
So with that said, I
exactly.
think we'll end it here. Thank you so much, Raj, for being a part of this chat. And it was really nice also being able to catch up with you. I really remember you fondly, and I hope that we cross paths soon.
Yes, thank you, Arjun. Yeah, see you soon.
Thanks, man. I'll leave you to it.
Bye.
See you.